Hi, my name is Tobias Milchereit. I'm a director at MarshBerry. With me here today, Tim Attia, CEO and founder of Slice. Thank you for joining, Tim.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us about Slice.
We just crossed our 10th year, so blew out the 10th candle and the cupcake. We've started by focusing, we're really a tech company, where we started focusing on specialty E&S insurance for the smallest contractor, the gig worker. And slowly we've evolved over the years to focusing on artisan contractors in the broader specialty market with the GL product.
And I think one thing that stands out is that you generate as a business significant growth. At the same time, you're able to maintain a high level of profitability. So how has technology contributed to that success?
Technology, especially in the last 5 years after we completed building our platform, allowed us to scale without having to add expense and really being able to manage our fixed costs. So we could have our variable costs only increase as we increase business. So what that means is it allowed us to scale the people we had and just write more premium. Once we were done with the platform, we were able to write premium without having to add expense. And that really allowed us to cross over.
And I would argue as a business or as an MGA, as a tech-enabled MGA, you're at the forefront of adopting AI technology in your business. Can you give us some example of how you're leveraging AI in your business today?
Sure. We launched Slice Mind in, I believe it was early 2019, where we went out with it. And at that time, we believed from the beginning that, the intersection between sort of AI and data and behavioral, science would be sort of really important in the insurance space. Not knowing the world was going to change 3 years ago. And, so we early days, we were using traditional AI to classify businesses and so that we could underwrite particularly small businesses without having an underwriter in the process. So up until actually a year ago, we hadn't even built a screen for an underwriter. So it was all completely underwritten by the machine. And we thought that we would be capped to a certain size until the world changed 3 years ago and we got new technology that came out that allowed us to scale further. But, sort of AI has always been at the center of what we wanted to do in terms of being able to scale without adding people. Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit more about the automation piece.
Sure.
Right? Really cutting the underwriter out of the process, at least for the most part. And now as you kind of move up market, I think you slightly alter that approach. But what challenges have you faced in the process of automating the underwriting process? And then also, what is the experience? Because on the one hand, automating things may not be that difficult, but then automating it in a way that you're still able to generate a profitable book of business for your capacity partners, that's obviously critical. So tell us about your experience there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, the tech is hard, but the insurance is harder. So you get the insurance wrong and it'll stick with you for a long time. So the key was being able to understand from a business perspective what was profitable and then being able to have the algorithms implement that consistently. So what that allowed us to do is to consistently apply the underwriting rules that humans came up with, good underwriters came up with, and we had experience on, and we knew that would provide a profitable book and be able to expand on that. So we started our, early days of our product was a lot of learning. And then in the last 3 years with our current capacity provider, which is an AM Best A++ rated carrier, we're 3 years in now, and we know that because of our profit share, we know that it has performed profitably. Again, there is a tail on this stuff, so time will tell as we scale, but we can see that the consistent application of the rules, which humans came up with, really provided benefit. Yeah.
Great. And now as you look back, right, and you have obviously learned and you've grown as an organization, you've really adapted as well, and given the significant changes in the industry and the level of technology that's available, a lot has happened. So as you look back in time, and let's say it's 2015 again, and you're coming up with the idea, what would you maybe do differently this time around if you could do it all over again?
I think we would have been less, assuming that we have the technology that just came out in the last 3 years, it wasn't available. It wasn't available to us, and the amount of investment that's going into the current technology is just allowing us to do a couple of different things. We would have gone faster because it's actually, since we're a tech company, we had this twofold. we have to build stuff. We have to build new products, put out new products, and that goes quicker with less people because it's helping us on the tech side, and arguably more on that side today, less proven on the underwriting side, especially at larger premiums. But I think we would have gone to bigger premiums faster as well. We would have shied away from larger premiums and more complex risk. We probably would have faced it much earlier, which I think would have added to quicker growth.
Thank you, Tim. It's great having you. Thank you for listening. Peak 2026.